Hello, my name is Elshawn Witherspoon, and I'm here today to ask for help. Please share my story. I live in Mobile, Alabama, and I am being aggressively retaliated against and sabotaged due to a federal housing discrimination complaint that I made against a very powerful real estate and business mogul here in Mobile, Alabama. His name is John Stimpson. He is the brother of Mayor Sandy Stimpson of Mobile, Alabama. Today, this video is to address a couple of the questions that were left on the video that I posted on yesterday. Why don't I move? I moved 2 years ago. I lived on the property from 2019 until 2022. Mallory Johnson, who was the tenant, who posed as a tenant but was actually the property manager. She moved into the unit under mine in February of 2021. She was immediately racially aggressive towards me. I ignored her for as long as I could. By October of 2021, I was having to call the police on her. No matter how many complaints I made to the real estate company, they would ignore me. And the racial aggression was calling me the N word, and saying very negative things about race when I would pass her and things like that. I put up cameras and I caught her pouring oil on the stairs to get me to slip up when I was coming down the stairs. Things like that. That got me a police report against her. The police told me to tell the apartment complex management that I got the report and they should do something. That first night I got the police report, she told the police that she knew the owners and that they knew what she was doing. Even the police thought she was lying, but it turned out that she was not. When I told them I got the report, they told me if I was afraid, move. She did not stop. She just got worse. She started to pour the oil into my plant. She started to come up the stairs in the middle of the night, jiggling my doorknobs. We lived in a walk up, an enclosed walk up, and they would keep the lights out in the building so she wouldn't get caught doing what she was doing by the cameras or anyone else. They ignored me, and you'll hear me say ignore me throughout this whole ordeal. Everyone is ignoring me, and I didn't understand why until I ended up getting a private investigator. And this is why I am on TikTok asking for help and to share my story. In January, at the end of December, I put in a break lease notice to move. And when I was able to get out of it without having to pay, the real estate company allowed Mallory to get buck wild on me. Even the other tenants in the apartment complex started to get in on the racist activities that were going on. At night, they would walk around my apartment shaking chains. They would spread feces on my car. Mallory was flattening the tires on my vehicle almost weekly. I would have to get my tires fixed. She was calling me out of my name, and the death threat started. Mainly, you know how we do so and so's in Mississippi. She is from Mississippi, Mallory Johnson. You know how we do so and so's in Mississippi. We find them in different places. To me, that meant dismemberment. And I would report all of this. The management would do nothing, so I would call the police, not knowing that my police reports were going into the wrong name until I went to get one to file charges against her. When I made the appointment to sign the warrant, the aggression amped up to levels that I've only read about and I've only seen in movies. I don't even know anyone who has experienced what I experienced personally. I ended up having to get an attorney, Timothy Shepard. Within 2 weeks of retaining his services, he too also delivered a death threat to me from the real estate company, and he quit on me and ignored me. He never talked to me again. I have videos of most of what I say on my TikTok page. After the death threat from Timothy Shepard, I tried the FBI, I tried the DOJ, I tried the Attorney General, I tried the ACLU, none of whom are interested in helping me. They're telling me, and I have those on my TikTok page as well, that there's nothing that they can do for me. I tried Benjamin Crump. He told me it's nothing he can do for me. Mind you, he represented a young lady from my area who got body slammed at a Waffle House. But being threatened with the Klan, dismemberment, threatened death through an attorney from a real estate mogul is not enough for him to handle my case. So those are the questions that were posed to me. Why don't I move, and have I called the FBI? I have done both of those. My other option was to file a federal discrimination complaint with the Department of Housing and Urban Development. So anyone else who had to go through this could possibly get help. That's where the big trouble started. A complaint with the Department of Housing and Urban Development against John Stimpson would mean that all of his properties, all of his real estate companies would be affected. If it was picked up by and prosecuted by the Department of Justice, it would affect the ability for him to get funds from the government for housing, better known as public housing, Section 8, equal opportunity housing payments, and things of that nature. This is why I am being stalked, ignored by law enforcement, played with by law enforcement, and nobody seems to want to help me. It's because John Stimpson is using his money and his connections through the mayor and the police to make sure that no one represents me. My private attorney, my private investigator told me that evidence that can't be seen isn't evidence. Please share my story.